Hey guys, it's Lee. And so a lot of you guys out there have been making some huge mistakes, some big mistakes out there when it comes down to budgeting. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about 6 signs that you're budgeting all wrong. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I make videos just like this one on personal finance, budgeting, and other topics around money. I also want to let you guys know that I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just sharing some firsthand knowledge that's helped me to pay off nearly $50,000 in student loan debt, buy a house, and live debt-free. So if that floats your boat, let's get started. The first sign that you're budgeting all wrong is when an emergency happens, you find yourself back to square one. You find yourself back to the proverbial hopscotch square. That first one, that's you, right? The primary reason this happens is because you've been skimping on your emergency fund. So it's important to have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside in case something happens. That way you don't set yourself back. You're not finding yourself in a really tight situation. It's also important for me to highlight that when I say 3 to 6 months of expenses, I mean expenses, not income. Sign number 2 is that you know what your expenses are, kind of, sort of, but not really, right? So one way to get around this is to log into your bank account online, take a look at your expenses for the last month, maybe even the last couple months. That way you can have a really clear picture of what your expenses are and what they have been every single month. And you can see where you're spending your money, maybe where you can come back on your money and things like that when you're building out your budget. If you don't know how to budget, you have no idea how to budget at all, go ahead and check out my video on how to budget. I'll leave it up here and also in the description below so you can check that out after this video. And so after you log into your account and look at your expenses, you want to go ahead and get a notepad or log into Excel, whatever you like to use, right? And you want to start off by basically listing all of your fixed expenses and then following that up with some other expenses like maybe your electric bill, your gas bill, cell phone, things like that, groceries, etc. Have everything sort of listed out so you can have a really good picture of what your budget is going to look like when you're done. Because how can you budget if you don't know what your expenses are? Sign number 3 is that you feel like your budget sucks, you feel like it's not working, you want to give up. And the reason for that is probably because you're not tracking your spending. Budgeting is not just throwing a bunch of numbers in your Excel spreadsheet or on your notepad. You have to plan, strategize, and look at your budget every single month to be successful. It's also important to note that every little spend counts. So that coffee, that pack of gum, that candy bar, every single day when you go to lunch, when you have to have that diet soda, your addiction, that is very important. So when it comes down to that, you want to make sure that you budget yourself appropriately, right? Sign number 4 that you are budgeting all wrong is that your life is completely boring. This is the most boring, plain, basic that your life has ever been. This is horrible to you. This is crazy. There's no fun. And honestly, budgeting shouldn't be boring and it doesn't have to be, okay? At all. So it's really important that you plan something fun each and every month. And the reason why you want to do this is because, let's face it, if something's not fun, you're not going to continue to do it, okay? Maybe once a month you go out with your friends to an inexpensive restaurant, right? You have a nice bite to eat, you enjoy time with your friends, right? Or maybe it's going out to a movie with your significant other or your family, and you do that again, maybe just once per month, but you are carving out that fun time so that you can continue to budget and save, be happy and enjoy life, right? And then also it's important to know that there are lots of free things that you can do each and every day that are out there, like hiking, biking, fishing. You can go to museums. There's a ton of things. I'm sure if you log on online and you look in your area, you can find something fun and something free as well, or maybe something very inexpensive as well that you can, again, check out and get into. Sign number 5 is that there's no wiggle in your budget at all, okay? So if you wiggle just a little bit, you break your budget. And that's basically meaning that you're not leaving yourself any room to breathe. And so I think that happens a lot of times when people are first getting into budgeting because you want to save every little dollar, you want to pay off every single debt with every single dollar that you can, you want to scrimp and save and pinch every penny you can. And honestly, it sounds great and it looks great on paper, but when it comes down to real life, it's not always the best idea because it means that your budget is too rigid, it's too strict, and that again makes it something that you don't want to continue to follow. So one piece of advice that I would give you is to maybe add in an additional 5 to 10% additional to your expenses every month. That way you give yourself a little bit more wiggle room, and that can just be a line item, and that basically will allow yourself to have a little bit more permission to spend money when you need to, if something costs a little bit more than you expected, or if something comes up, you give yourself that breathing room so that way you don't feel overwhelmed and suffocated by your budget. And sign number 6 that you're budgeting wrong is that you are completely avoiding saving for retirement, or you're not saving enough for retirement. Now, once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I highly recommend you save and plan for your retirement, because your future self is going to be really, really thankful that you took the time out today to save for the future. And believe me, when you get older, like, you don't want to have financial issues at all. You want to be able to relax and do all the things that you have dreamed of doing when you retire. So make sure you take advantage of your company's 401k plan or retirement plan, whatever that might be. Make sure that you take advantage of that. A lot of companies contribute towards it as well. And if they don't contribute towards it, it's perfectly fine. Still go ahead and take the time out and save towards your retirement. It's very important that you guys do that. That's all I have for you guys. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up sign as well. Also in the comments, let me know some mistakes that you guys have made along the way when it comes down to budgeting. I'd love to hear from you. Also, other people watching this video, I'm sure can benefit from some of the information that you have to share as well. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.